so ni mudi na constitution ni muni ni bedi wo ho so na muni na kodi ho enye ebro ni gidigidi ye no ene edibi
na onte say akra me yo 100 ga me amadamfo 100 ga na pa ni ngomo say enye 120 no o de man nkrofo rom de atokoko 95 koko sika 20 Ghana sa from so ni ho
oh make say on kin ka say from so ni ho inducement
momu nidi
na nti sanye abato obetu na nka unidi ma for so me edu be me say enso aduebo bia ye de bia person ti be free positions same we yen say abanu tu we no okon onya mandate no kwa oni mu bi until the next 4 years and until the next election we say we should learn to save ourselves then we can hold them accountable. No no problem okrum ha. Bia because ye GBB from ho nti do say hold them accountable nti me yes adwuma no.
Ten rakra akopre kokọ campaign wakoto dame. Efie bi mo wie papa ne ka kire se na wa ba fie o mfa chọ money nto ho. Na so we yi ni botom sika de ma o mo ne ade dia.
95.1. Asese na o mai mu ye pastor dodo.
Oh.
Ye pastor dodo. Yes, no question nkofo bi hu kire omo. Na ubabo bi a enye because of election. Ushena nipa na sitemu nya mo bi awo no fama no ba men twen ma endu election na ukata mi ma osekotokoko
enti ko odu ona wasre ni kokonu mo ma no
na nti kese ye election bi odidi biom well ye be say nyina ye nya hwe yi na odi ma na se obaji a odi agi na sumdwim na ko men kasa no nti hwe odi ma me I always have this philosophy say me wo ho me ko to aba na say uba ufi party A udi mami ameji party B udi mami ameji ba me ko booth ni ma me na me nim ne me ko to aba no 95.1 that should not influence my decision on ne me to aba na ma no e pempi no ne haen ye twa nti ejiska na na de akoto ama obi a keke o discover no kwa o se scan to ya no e wo se finding sika no endra se uti lecture Professor Baoli ma oligona corruption ni sa de chase ni waje fi no se anu onu so okope ba bi ejis enye se scan bi be exactly nti se nyina ye nim so okwa akori ejuma abo o man na de se bi hwe na se u ne asema o ka chem ne to asoma metro ma o uko na se okoyi ejuma nkoyi ejuma ni ya next time uba me nto ma bium we amusa obia be steady
right me na wase na pese onya bre na yetwe nkomo yera se yiram yeda se 95.1 abusia yeni nkomo obetimi afre 0556692445 especially mo amo Ablekuma North 0556692445 pangwangwa sanyum ne shima and then kwansan shede ni hosa because ye to aba e wa Ablekuma mebo bi te unya bra no afre ne yedi nkomo ate ma cha na pay for say na afre
na oh mami ya
oh
nyankopon hira wai
o hira wo so ate
mmatai ba no
na tai ba
ka fin suhum e tun ka che mami
tai ba me
ka me say o phone number si na fro nyame hira nyankopon nya okase me nia me de mamu no onu efenfo me hia mu nyina nyankopon hia mu de na mamu ahonde ene enkwatente ma no why
amen
wo yesu
amen abato ewo ahu ne say me makama dwen dada ma kira wo say usually no yeah na party in power or upper hand when it comes to buy election or whatever it is that goes on in terms of elections unless ne dwumadie bia wo di no asa ho kira ba system ni amanfo ho yira wo mo eno no de wa so ba yese so asa kuma ekoma o mo na o stronghold. In fact, they wanted to turn the tables with the Wamo as party in power. Ewa saying at that time, na Ghana, kono minenye ize. Wamko PM ho nyuma nkwala ni twama o munenya nyom ketwa. How is the country treating you at the moment, especially those in Ablekuma? Oh, Jedi Ekwaso papa. Would they play a role? Good morning, Anapay. Wait me a friend 055-669-2445. No, do they also. Matiana pay. I pump for them. Nimunya Juma. Zaza. Dana someone say Patricia Siama wako PM our prison no we be PM no evangelist Kesia papa. Anapay Martin. Yes, Papa called there.
Namiado. Megeni Samuel Refi Ablekuma Sama.
Sami yanko.
Ani ambeza mekanise sikana omo tene de nyane kwanso ano because yes ana politicians seem to take for granted bibia nti yes man for no ma yeni so enda ho na sikate
ya ma obi a onye wo ho
baby yes enye the right na say because of the mawa 4 years and so na be san hu ni bi mo. One example is the constituency, Anglo constituency. Omuka politicians say boys no more, no matter with the mom, with the mom, beto abana mo. We are some taking for granted. Omuka munyesi mom. Enuntia.
Me da se pa. Wachira na dwe. The bra obedi ana wonye. Da no say Samsung go say dey dwumadi bi ma me nua ba. Bella Mundi eko pie mo wase na hwe atare na hye na so pa yi na manfo kekan konkonsan nyenye a bella bo wanyema na oba wa ne wanyema fo so be na wo mu yensempa
95.1
yensempa ye
yenko
me ma me ya o ya de o nyame nka ho ai
da se pa
nyame nka mo ina ho aba na o motu no ye na e kana po o montu no e obedi ni party e party na e gana po e obedi no mo fama no e mame Matariba.
Wajo so pa. Mon hwehwe nhia so member of parliament dey na mo hu ana me de to ho. Mo mpe mame na kwa campaign o ye nya campaign ketwa. Ana pa mame ntia aduane pass Pentex Road. Shell signboard aduane pa mame ntia adwumayefo ho nyina pa aduane papa. Sprinter Shell signboard aduane pa obenya bia di. No mo mame mo pa na nya izewo. Ya da se wate. Omo ye night market ebi e was Sprinter aduane pa ho no. Shell signboard. Banku. Plain rice ne salad, ne chicken fie papa bi. Yes, empa. Afra. 0556692445. And Chenia Soso. Now Felicia say I will take you over your radio. But we are sure you will give you updates from Ablekuma North. And right here, I want to make a peer hobby. My who's your so. Yes, Empa.
Asampayo.
Yo, Yankwe.
Me patro ya frame baba Imana mi kasafi kuvikui.
Yankwa baba.
Aha, me da se. Mo boy duma me. Na mi kamu.
On council
baba. Me duma mu ye mai.
Yeah, that's a pa.
But me how ka say aya oni pano. Aya bubrofo ni dos dudu.
E pe brofo do wa ho.
Brofo ni dos. Udi kokosana ya brofo ni dos.
Ya te me betin konkonsa ne brofo so wate. E betin konkonsa brofo no so me da se pa. Dem ni mo to le bia na brofo na ba se ya. Ya ma fo ka se ya ye twini ente brofo. Mo didi ya sa na ye brofo aba. Yes, Empa.
Hello. Yes, Empa.
Ko.
Yo, if we fit kaswa, we get the kujofosu.
Kujo bako de.
Yo, na me pakache Ablekuma bato ne se o mama anya asumdie. Na mo sika na mo chema, mo koto aba no. The party A di ba gidi. Party B di ba gidi. Na mo ko gina ballot box ni mu a. Wona woni ne wo to ama no. Ye won sa o mehu yansa next time mo nche sika bi. Woni yankopon ihe djuma. Bye.
Me da se pa. Madu yanko. 0556692445. So I want you to about Ablekuma North. You be kwatia. Babenka will say weekend Friday and now Ampere. Your weekend party just started today with DJ Willie and the Hyperman. Dale, get the Joy Industries in Kabum. Oh, yeah, Koku Joint Extra, Kaswa old times. And our old timers road. A bay piece of a donga zonga zonga. Brandy and chili. Let's wine and dine and eat. Your favorite presenters, NKG, Dr. Preka said DJ Willie. Hyperman. Kojo coded Hyperman Lafia, Roland Obroni, Ajubi Date Rush, DJ Willie, or more NBMC program. No, Diego Chia, Yakwako Chile, DJ Staga, DJ Chemical, DJ Bernard. Mene Ayokobo Yajuni, who your phone and home coaching. Yes, yes, I'm back.
Yes, I'm fine.
Yeah, first and after him here, uncle.
Maybe Bobby, that's a fair Samanka.
Bobby, uncle.
I mean, Daniel Juma, Obama,
Medasipa.
Now, about to Canada, a banner so one, Janet says.
We had me on
one hour. Your man is now politicians to some bar. They said them home where Juma.
Ah, what the bad?
I'm buying Ghana Sikaya on media. Can you be on a master South?
95.1.
See, some of the banners say, yeah, Asamanka si yaji akwatia dia yakoto last yaji ya but
ya buy less you better go
so ko me ko to ba pa yi ikani dia ba me de margin na beto
me da se pa tema won't me kopie mu Ablekuma TV mo tema won't me voice why bo manemra what you say ebiu
achina baso no election na banami ato awie isi na ma yehu se akua friye na wa rene na sasem wenti ana wo kan Exodus chapter 14 13 to 14 osimunye ko mu no Nyankopon be ko amaye
Pastor Chairman want to me and attending kan steka de we yan de asem kure man say ni yada o steka on Ablekuma kra on social media be yes empa
yo
ya fra
ye trinkwa
one wa trinkwa ale ma bawa man
yo ba ja se ga ale wa
me da se yanko
yo Ghana for but me so ma ga ka mo ka se Ghana for da be na be ja sa suba tantawe ye ko ya le si bia aja ye di sika nsem vukum na ma forje what ba na enye mo me enja Ghana for mo ma enja ma wasi
da se pa o ma mi trinkwa na me bisa sa onu ha trinkwa afi wa backslide 0556692445 0556692445
Are you ready to wake up?
The last call out today. Any pardon? Yes, Empa.
Hello.
Your first and after him.
Father family Godwin.
Young Godwin.
Yeah, the pastor then they say Sammy dear. One je kana. Info na sabe who be possibility. Na me bra pa ko ka be akatability. E pin for na e da na e no kwali die ni e juma.
Madam for juma be na e.
Let me have heavy machine operator.
Oh yeah, heavy machine operator. Oh, na pe ana wadi benku ana.
Oh, Charlie, I force you to
me me na pe. Wa fa blue kiosk so kakra na o mpe no.
Oh, the business anya man there.
When you Aso o kasa ni some guy for kasa binti na me bi say.
Me dey sa na me ko bomb nti man dey almost feeling.
Sa man feeling wo. Eti achimata ho din be na dey from ho.
Me dey we bia o ko bia me ana me boss ho.
Sa guy no be na dey from ho no.
Oh, guy dey me dey ho ya sa no rush.
Rush. Oh. Me that's it. Sekadi anything. Be sekatum. Oh. Kwame be sekatum. Kwame. Be sekatum. Rerun a man for Adani and so for my fancy no abo we did the night break for dance so and then if you had a bojaye Edward Obesia Henry back on your radio Kobo and the DJ Pepe and your mind and I kwame Opoko be producer Henry Elodi Yankee producer Lois Dogbe production assistant yeah that's it by 5 p.m. Would it be a rap now obbing and now next free? I've told you. Let's see. Too close to call. Too close to call, but there's a likelihood that the tables might turn. May call.
Unia 95.1 FM.
Because I know it's supposed to be super. Exactly. I'll come to you next time. So one would be outside, and then one would be upstairs. I'm the person going to observe where we take the game and whether that's why I'm going to start with my game. You'll be observing the yeah, so this is very more important than giving where to hire. Yeah, you should advise them. Baby, look, baby. It's a no baby.
Right now, there are attempts to have the polling station fixed outside, which was the demand of the teaming supporters or observers who are here. In fact, it had to take the Greater Accra EC boss to come in, and then the moment she walked into the scene, she told the presiding officers there's no way the polling station can be inside. It has to come outside, and that must happen immediately. And so voting has paused while tents are being mounted to ensure that the polling station is fixed outside for voting to continue. And so that's what's been happening. She came and ordered immediately and was in the immediacy working as quickly as possible to was asking questions where could tents be acquired as quickly as possible to have them ensure a certain level of protection as and when the rains come through, which was by and large the concern of the presiding officer who was here. But she said no, there is no way polling stations are expected to be inside in an enclosed environment. It's supposed to be out in the open, and so immediately everything had to pause. In fact, I've seen persons who've come through trying to come in and vote, and the police officers have cautioned them to just hold on while the area is prepared so that voting can commence immediately. And so that's what's happening right now. And I'm just hoping I can get a few words from her again, though she said quite strongly that she didn't want to go on air, but perhaps she'll give us a bit more words as to why she decided in the immediacy that all of that. You came and ensured that everything came outside. Just walk us through the decision and why you asked the presiding officer to bring everything outside.
Well, actually, I had a call, that they had mounted a polling station in the church. So I came and sacked them from the church because we don't mount polling stations in the church. We mount polling stations outside so that everybody can see what goes on.
Right. And so now that's happening, it's paused voting a bit. Some will say it's disrupted the process to an extent.
Oh, it has not disrupted the process. At least we can give them, I don't know, but if we spend about 10 or 15 minutes to get back, we would extend the time to about 15 minutes. So maybe we'll close around 5:15 instead of 5.
You've been to other places. What have you observed? Have you seen similar? Because the concern from the people here was that it was inside and they wanted it outside. Have you seen similar, or it's been relatively smooth in all of the night?
The only place that I've seen that they have mounted the polling station inside. This is the only polling station that I've seen that they have mounted. I had a call. I was outside. I had a call. That's why I came here.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Right, and so that's the Gladys Pinkra. She is the head of the Greater Accra EC, and coming through and ensuring that in the immediacy these tents are being mounted. Perhaps I'll try and go back to some of the individuals I spoke to and gauge their opinions as well, because they were vehemently opposed to the polling station being inside. Now their wish has been.
When it comes to democracy, a number one means a lot. So we are here also to ensure that at least Ablekuma gets what they are entitled to. I'm saying this because when we talk about development, the whole debate starts from Parliament. It's just crucial that we have somebody who is serious-minded, who knows what it takes to bring development to her people, to represent them in Parliament. And we can see that in Arabia, in all aspects of life. So we came here in our numbers, all the municipal chief executives. As you are aware, I'm the dean. We have two MCs over here, Adan West and also Nungo Prampram. They came all the way to come and support this project because we believe that the NDC, we have a package for Ghana, we are resetting Ghana, we are putting Ghana back on track. And this is the time we need everybody to come along so that we bring development, progress to Ghanaians. Thank you. So far, I've been through elections, and as you are aware, I'm also Amasaman constituency chairman. So when it comes to elections, I believe in strategic moves so far as concerned. We believe in rule of law, fairness. However, me and
party from NDC MPP Sikana Somadema parliamentary candidate no yes, we have taken responsibility of the election to ensure that our boys do not misbehave. That is what a good political party does. That is what a responsible leadership does. You don't leave your party people to go into an election. Then you are sitting at the community saying, we are here. So we are controlling both our party people because MPP forms from here, Ghana control without their leadership, we take full control and we are in charge here.
It looks like you'll not be able to work.
Yes, I can, because one of mine is shaking here. The rest is shaking. I don't know what happened to me.
So what are you doing?
You have to check up.
Yeah, party from NDC or MPP for Sikana, Somadema parliamentary candidate in Orchard. We give you going to put for Aboka. Yes, we are taking responsibility of the election to ensure that our boys do not misbehave. That is what a good political party does. That is what
Are you connected? I am connected. Every time for one video na nature go no efe na kono ye pa. Ya papa compare ko the way e kire se Ghana ha de sisi a ono e na waje kunya na wotim. What I say? Wo bia ehu na let say o heli bi say ya. Obia a compare kunyo. No can, no vote. Every time share the link, share link, no share link, no share link, no. Everybody know do so en fam wo bi na ka che wo bi say. We are for TV and ya ban live. Na ya di Ablekuma not so the echo ho nyane so e ba be somu. NPP on so god no na so ne ya ba to echo so yin so no. Omo for e mama meto e nwanwa. Na wo bi aka NPP for ni mu say eh wo ko parliament asisi e dey ka mo from numbers ni sha. Mo ya ba mo just am kwade mo ya ke chakra. Etika this is the time I want to mutimi go in numbers na ka mo ko vote e dey mo party but you see as a party no say the amount for e ka party no I will go to turn area no cry because vote we actually say enyama enko ye kura one PP among your korum we enye emisadi hu anase we enye bibi fama penifom bi party no hu say nyama omo ye no echia ema party members no omo kasa enye dide bia ewo penifom mu bio omo ni odo bia efma party ni bio etini nyina no ebe gina ye papa akompla kwa Japan so wonu pe eni ni pa oti be ni party na odona ma for wo edema NPP no and that's also I resurrecting. I wish you have compare with the people that had the one and number one on the next president of the state. Are you connected? I am connected. I wish you have compare the Egusu AC Ablekuma not and Famra.
All right, that's one of the things you get to go through when you're live reporting from location, and we'll get our technicians on the ground with whom to try and sort out her microphones for us. I was telling you about the voter population registered at the Ablekuma North constituency, and out of that 121,000, where only 6,000 are going to vote across the 19 designated polling stations. Historically, that constituency has been a safe seat for the NPP. The NDC has never won that seat since 1992. Even at a time when the NPP boycotted the elections, it was assumed that somehow it was still within the grasp of the NPP. And so in 1996, the NPP polled 61% of total valid votes cast, and in 2000 it upped it a bit to 69% of the total valid votes cast. In 2004, this dropped significantly to 49%, and the NDC, it is safe to assume that given that it dropped, they may have taken it away, and so that is a safe assumption. What we can say also, let me take you down to Ablekuma North, where our correspondent is at the Methodist polling station, where he joins us with some news. Good morning. Thank you very much, Pat.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Yeah. Thank you. So I'm currently at the Methodist Church Protocol 1 police station.
Okay.
The police station number is 31610128. And I spoke to the presiding officer, and she told me that 454 voters expected to vote or on the registered ballot, the registered paper that they have.
Okay.
And also, I spoke to the security chief here. He told me that over 50 policemen have been currently deployed here. This particular police station comprises 2 polling stations. Actually, there are supposed to be 2 polling stations here, but then they are only using one because of the nature of the situation here at the moment. So they are only using one polling station. They told me that they also have only 475 ballots, just in case some 4 ballots they will be replaced with the ones that are there. So, and also, after the time we spoke to the presiding officer, he told us that 5 people have voted so far. So, approximately about 30 people, from my estimation, about 30 voters have now voted. So, that is the situation on the ground at the Methodist Church Protocol 1 police station.
All right, thank you very much. But you mentioned we have a total number of voters at this polling station standing at 464. Is that correct?
Yes, 464.
464. And do we know if polls opened at exactly 7 a.m.?
Yes, the polls were open at exactly 7 a.m.
Right.
Yes.
And so between about an hour and 25 minutes gone since polls opened, and we have how many people cast their votes already? 25?
Yes, after the time we interviewed the presiding officer, we were told that 25 people had voted. But from my estimation, I've seen a couple of voters trooping in. Okay. And in my estimation, it would be about 30 at the moment.
Right.
I don't really have the current figure at the moment. Approximately 30 voters have now come into exercise their franchise.
Right. Looking at voter behavior and voting activities currently ongoing, what impressions do you get relative to what the atmosphere would be like, say, in the next few hours?
So from what I'm seeing, I think people are still coming in to vote. Even though when we came initially, the place was quite empty, but it looks like people are now coming in. The policemen keep trooping in, and there's general peace and calm at the moment. Everything is going on well. They are keeping the place in check. The police, as the security personnel, are keeping the place in check. I mean, there's peace and calm here at the moment. Right. However, I just got the information that some voters came to vote, but then they were told that their names have not been seen in the register, and that's the conclusion that is noticed at the moment. They came to vote, they checked the register, and they were told that their names are not in the register, and they are confused because to them, in the 2024 December 2024 elections, this was where they voted, and their names were registered here. They voted. So they don't understand why they can't find their names in the voters register at the moment. So that is the situation at the moment, the information I'm getting currently.
Right. This would be worth following up on, especially to ascertain why someone voted at that very polling station at the last election, and today they are unable to vote there. Do you also get the impression that perhaps voters are a bit hesitant to come out and vote because they're not sure how the day will go like?
Yes, I think so. I don't know, but I feel that with the large number of police personnel here, there could be the possibility that people are even intimidated to come here. In fact, I was asking one person that why are there so many policemen here? Is this place a hotspot? But then I wasn't really given any relevant information to that. But from what I'm seeing, I think that people are just trying to look around and see if maybe there might be some, they might be compelled to come and vote. At the moment, just come in you see one person coming, 2 people, but then it's not in the rush like you would have seen or would have expected, like it was in the December 2024 election. So they just took in once in a while, and I believe that they would come eventually, but at the moment, probably they might have gone to work in other places, but from what I've seen, I think that they might come eventually later in the course of the day.
Right.
They would come in and vote.
Right. Is this schedule? First of all, let me find out this. What's the political party behavior or activity within the constituency at the moment like? Do you have some of the aspirants or contenders showing up where you are, or their supporters gathering in areas where, let's say, it would kind of influence a certain voter behavior?
Well, I've seen some party agents around, but they are just monitoring the situation. They are just far from even where the polling agents are or the electoral officials are. They are just monitoring everything. I also inquired about the polling station where the NDC candidate would vote, but I'm sure that they know where she's going to vote, as a matter of fact. So we are trying to find out where she might be at the moment. We'll get you that information later when we find out where she is. Maybe you might want to get the word or two from her when we get a chance. But at the moment, the party agents or the political party representatives around here are just around. They are just monitoring the situation. They've not seen any form of scaffold or confusion anywhere. They are just keeping everything in check. Right. I think when it got to the point where people were saying that they weren't seeing their names, the voters ID card, they have to go and confront the officials, asking them questions, make inquiries. But then I think there has been some clarifications to them. They are still hanging around to see if maybe it be possible for them to be given a chance to vote. For them, they don't know where they are going to be voting if their names are not here. Right. So I think the party agents are still making sure that they can get their people to vote, those who were not able to find their name in the register.
Right, Cadmiel, just before I let you go, news has it that there are some party elements, especially the parliamentarians within the both parties, present on the ground and knocking on doors, calling people to come out and vote. Can you confirm or have you cited any of these political or party persons from Parliament, especially on the ground?
No, at the moment I've not seen them campaigning or doing any door-to-door campaign at the moment. The only thing I see is people are in their neutral attire. No one is wearing any party paraphernalia, so I mean they are just trying to comply with the regulations, that is not to show any political affiliation on the day of election. So everybody is complying with that directive. They are not wearing any party colors or t-shirts or anything of that sort. But for them going out to call on people to come and vote, I've not seen anyone yet. Actually, I've been sitting here. I've been going out once in a while to check around to see what's happening there, but I've not really seen people do any form of door-to-door campaign at the moment.
Sorry. Initially, now person polling station about Bontin. Somebody about Bontin when you are Jaffe.
I am not the one.
Okay.
The truth must be told. Before time, we both agreed because of the rain and other things, we should do the thing indoors.
Right.
Two polling agents each. We all agreed. Voting was going on smoothly, more than close to an hour or so later. Then people came in. They said we should bring it outside. My question was, we both agreed, two leaders agreed to have it inside. So if you are bringing it outside, there should be consensus. If there's no consensus, how can one person decide to bring it outside? In the end, we judge peace prevail. But our suspicion has been met. As soon as the box was brought down, look at look at the confusion and what's going on, because we knew this thing will happen. Initially, we agreed after the voting, we will bring the ballot out, count it for everybody to see. That was what we agreed. Now they said we should bring it outside. We are not afraid. It's election. We are confident we will win. We can even take it to heavens. We will still survive. What we want is peace, but our suspicion has been met. We knew if this thing come outside, this thing.
Well, for now, what it is that we're seeing is they are trying to set up the polling station because it has been brought outside, and then voting will proceed. Do you have any concerns that when it's brought outside there could be something?
That is our suspicion. We believe the police will follow the law, act strictly, and adhere to the rules and regulations of the poll. That's the only thing we want, because we suspect after the election, pandemonium will break loose here.
Because I hear in December this was one of the areas which was very hot,
and that is why when we agreed to make it indoors, you were here. If you will be truthful, everything was going on smoothly until this thing happened. But we are ready to do it. We just want the police to protect each and everyone who will come and vote. Simple.
This should not escalate to anywhere else. And for those of you who are in Ablekuma, this is just your civil right to choose a leader. It is not an avenue for you to injure anyone. So please, if you are a youth in Ablekuma and someone comes to you to say go and do this, don't. But I have Dr. Victor Docker with me on the line. Doc, you are seeing this. You are a security analyst. What do you make of what happened?
Well, first of all, it's very disgraceful, disappointing, and I hope your reporter is safe though, and they should take care of all professional measures in trying to send this information. Now, this is exactly what we're talking about, being preemptive and proactive with regards to responding to the situation. Now, if you say you have 100 personnel on the ground, there is a commander over there, and there should be an approach in securing the perimeter, the inner perimeter. Was this done? If so, you would definitely have been able to stop the gentleman, because when you condone or you barricade the outer perimeter, it means everybody coming in from the outer to the inner to the core would have to go through some level of work processes. Voters will go through. So the moment you do that, you definitely would realize that these young men coming in a group like this with helmets on their heads so they won't be identified, with hoodies on so they won't be identified, there's a purpose for which they are coming. You quickly respond. But yet again, if we are able to equip the police on the ground with at least batons or jack up
democratic process. Tell us, what does this mean? I mean, if a journalist is trying to do his job and he's being prevented to the point of abuse, what do you think it means for our press freedom in Ghana?
We don't really have press freedom because if the police, the previous IGP Dampari told us that the press will have freedom or mine, and why this time? Why this time? Why this time? So do we have freedom as press people? No, we don't have it. If we have freedom, allow a layman to beat me, not a police officer. Allow a layman to beat me, not an officer. Who knows the law? Who knows what I do for a living? Allow a layman to beat me, but why a police officer to beat me? For no reason. You don't have any reason at all. So please, by my
Basically, we are still here at Pentecost Church, here exactly at North Odofo. We've been here since morning trying to monitor elections, the rerun of the elections in this particular constituency. One thing we realized when we came here is there's been a lot of a lot of policemen. If I can even exaggerate, there are probably more policemen than the voters who are here to vote. And right now, we just spoke with one of our colleagues, and I think one side of his cheek, and he thinks it's an unfortunate incident that at this time that we are trying to improve our press freedom, and journalists will prevent them from using so at this particular time. I mean, this is a major election.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us. You're watching GBC News, and this is our live coverage of the rerun of the 19 polling stations within the Ablekuma North constituency. That just gone was a report of assault by a police officer, unconfirmed, even though we have seen a complainant speaking to Kamra Banahini, one of our own, a journalist on the ground, has been assaulted, and he's shown evidence of that to camera. And so, Humu, by all means, be safe while you are on the ground and stay clear from trouble. We also saw Jefferson Kwame Nasaki, the NPP parliament.
Initially, now person on the polling station about until somebody about until when you are Jeffy.
I am not the one.
Okay.
The truth must be told. Before time, we both agreed, because of the rain and other things, we should do the thing indoors.
Right.
Two polling agents each. We all agreed. Voting was going on smoothly, more than close to an hour or so later. Then people came in and they said we should bring it outside. My question was, we both agreed, two leaders agreed to have it inside. So if you are bringing it outside, there should be consensus. If there's no consensus, how can one person decide to bring it outside? In the end, we judge peace prevail.
North Odoko has two polling stations, different identities though. C161006 and 6161-008. Both North Odoko Church of Pentecost 2 and 4 were unclear where this assault is taking place. But we will eventually find that out when we're able to reconnect with who is on the ground. We also went to Catmill, who gave us some brilliant information from his end of the Ablekuma North constituency, where he told us calm and peace prevailing as compared to where we've just come from. It appears there are two different positions. Let's go back and see if this time around we will be able to reconnect with John. John, good morning. Welcome to GBC News. What do you have for us?
Good morning and thank you. I can hear you, please.
Sure. Let's hear you. What do you have for us? What does it look like where you are?
Right. So the atmosphere here at Sakaman, precisely Bethel Baptist Church, is a calm one with tight security. About 17 police have been deployed to this particular police station. So the atmosphere here is a calm one. Voting is going on smoothly, no distraction. Since 4 started 7 a.m. And at this police station, some 429 voters are expected to cast their votes. And I'm going to, from the last check I made, only 13 had been able to, cast their ballots. But I'm standing just beside the presiding officer, Madam Sedia Salifu, who I will engage briefly to give us a current update. So, Madam, good morning. You are live on GTV GBC. Now, can you share with us how the process, your general impression of the process so far?
So far, I can't say anything. The place is very cool, and they are trooping in one after the other at the moment. So the place is very quiet, not like it's chaos.
And thirdly, can you share with us how many voters have cast their ballots?
So far, 35.
Right now, we can see that about 17 police personnel have been deployed to this police station. Does that, make you safe to discharge your duty?
Yes, it's safe, but in nutshell, you have to protect yourself, even though there is security. You have to also protect yourself and your assistant as well. But we are safe.
All right. Anything you would like voters to take note of as the process unfolds?
Since most of the voters are not competent with the particular police station, so the other police stations are all trooping in to come and vote. So we are just assisting them. If you come and your voter ID number doesn't match, we just tell you that you are not part of it. That's all.
Right, so that is Madam Sedia Salifu. She's the presiding officer for the Bethel Baptist Church police station here in Sakaman. And I have been engaging with some of the voters to understand what really is driving their voting decisions, most of which are voting for the fact that they want, their wards to go to school without paying fees. But one of the things that I've picked is that there has not been enough education as to what the policies are as far as education is concerned and how they start to benefit. They are saying that when the MPP parliamentary candidate comes to power, they believe that she is going to ensure that their wards who are home and do not pay their fees are able to go to school and pay their fees, which is not the case. So there's a letter of there's a need for educating these folks to understand or to carry them along as far as what is happening in national politics is concerned. But I've been able to speak to different demographics, the aged, the young, and then the middle age, and the interest varies. Most of the young folks at this police station, Bethel Baptist Church in Sakaman, are voting for the fact that they want job, and they have been grading the performance of the current government. Now, their grading of the government of the current government is a good one, and this one is just buttress what pollsters have been saying before this process began. They say that the performance of JM administration is a good one, They also say that the economy is going in a good direction, and they're also saying that they are hopeful and they are optimistic that within this administration, although as engaged is a youth who is unemployed, he believes that although he has not been employed yet, he believes that from the way things are going, he can get employed in this administration. And so these are the little things that are driving people's decision as far as voting is concerned.
Very brilliant report. But before you go, can you confirm you have 429 total voters expected to cast their vote where you are?
That's correct. 429 voters are expected to cast their ballot at this polling station.
Right, and polls opened at 7, and so at 8:46, when you first came on air, you can also confirm you've only had 35 persons cast their vote already.
Yeah, so as early as 8:40, there were only 13 voters who, exercised their civic responsibility.
Okay.
As I speak to you now, one person just came in, so 49 have, cast their ballot. As I speak to you now.
Right. You mentioned where you are is relatively calm. Do you get the impression that people are hesitant to come out and vote?
Well, voter apathy is one of the challenges that has plagued, several police stations, and this police station is not different. I engaged, I was speaking to the Ablekuma West, Member of Parliament, Mr. Reverend Sofuadu, getting what the party has been doing as far as voter apathy is concerned. And he says that voter apathy is not something that they've disputed, but they've taken a move, a door-to-door, campaign to galvanize the people, move them from their homes and to come and cast their ballot. So that's what they've done. But as to whether that is going to be effective, we can only tell at the end of polls.
Before I let you go, what does security where you are look like? And we have just come from the Church of Pentecost North Odoko, and there seemed to be some confusion. Do you have a similar thing where you are?
Interestingly, the first thing I found out when I came here was the trust the Electoral Commission officials have in the security that they've been provided. And I was happy to hear that they are confident that the security that they have here is one that they trust, that nothing will intimidate them to act in any way, but they can discharge their duty a fair and in a just way without intimidation that anybody walks in to do them anything.
Right.
So that here, if I should tell you honestly, it's a tight one. The atmosphere here is a calm one. Everything is very smoothly, like Madam said, the presiding officer said. Everything is very smoothly, no disruption, no controversy, no arguments. Everything is smoothly.
Right. Thank you very much, John. We'll have to leave it here. We'll come back to you. And if you spot anything that needs to be out there as well, kindly reconnect and we'll come back to you. Thank you very much. That just gone as our correspondent on the ground, John Guama, reporting from the Bethel Baptist Church polling station, where he reports that there is calm, there's a presence of police personnel.
That the one of things that they give around voters, close to election or election day, will not necessarily influence people's decision, because people may have already made up their mind long enough, and the fact that they took something from you doesn't warrant that they are going to vote for you. So we think that especially these big parties in Ghana, the NPP, the NDC, should come to that realization and desist from inducement, so that we'll have people who go out to the polls can go there voting for who they think will better represent them.
I guess this is an issue the OSP should immediately go into, right?
Yeah, in fact, that was something I was going to talk about, because I wanted to say that for a long time, where we haven't seen so much action around the issue of vote buying and vote selling, we saw a lot of impunity. But for the monitoring that we have done over the years, because almost every election, the Ghana and Social Coalition and GRI and the CG make sure that we monitor these issues of vote buying and abuse of them. I mean, look past the years that because there was no thing, people was saying, and this were giving share a lot of gooding on the left side, that around police. But since we saw actions from the
you're making a good point, but your line keeps tripping. I don't know if you can just reposition yourself a bit, and then you make this point for me.
Okay, so please, is it better now?
I think it's better now, yes.
Okay, thank you. So my point is that when there was no action in terms of ensuring that people who fall foul of the law are punished, there was a lot of display of this vote buying, at polling stations, even on election days. But we've seen that since the Office of the Special Prosecutor started initiating actions against people who violate the law, we've also seen some significant reduction. For instance, our monitoring of the last election, the last December 2024 election, we've seen some reduction in terms of how people come around to display or give votes, even on election day, packaged food and all that to induce. That has reduced, and we believe that it's also because of the important role that the Office of the Special Prosecutor is playing. So we are calling again on the Office of the Special Prosecutor that it's important that some of the issues that are coming, if we can also pick these up and, if possible, prosecute those who have offended the law in a way that it becomes a deterrent. And I believe the more we continue to do that, the less we will see some of these things happening. Yes, and I also want to use this opportunity to encourage the voters that, it's even not, I don't know how to put this, but as a voter, I think it's a disrespect to you for a political party to think that at the last minute they can come and give you money to induce you to vote for them. I believe that is very disrespectful. If the political party wants to serve you, there are lots of things that they can do for your community, but the money that they dish out, will not bring you development in your community. So citizens and people who are discerning should commit to saying no. And I want to use today, as I said, today is the Africa Anti-Corruption Day. Let us all commit to say no to vote buying and vote selling also, because it's a two-way affair.
Okay.
If the votes are not being sold, there wouldn't be a buyer. So if the politicians can also restrain themselves from selling or buying people's votes, I believe that we can bring this issue.
Okay.
But it is my hope that the Office of the Special Prosecutor will make an example of our politicians. Once we have 2, 3, or 4 politicians who are prosecuted on these charges, I believe it will send a good signal to politicians that they cannot continue to disregard our vote buying laws.
Okay, I'm grateful to you, Beauty MFA Nate, for joining us here. She is the Executive Secretary of the GII. Let's take you back now to the grounds in Ablekuma North, where there's more happening. Stay with us here on Election Headquarters.
Let's hear from the legal director for the NDC, Eduji Tamaklo, on what has been happening so far.
No, but I'm saying that, my brother, where is Miracle? What would be the basis of the report? My brother Miracle is not here. I am here. I've actually been talking to the police commander here that we can all ensure that there is calm as we speak. And we are not leaving anything to chance. We are interested in ensuring that there's utmost security here to allow the voting to continue. Anybody I have seen here who has any association with NDC, I've stopped them. Let me calm my people down.
Right. And so you heard Eduji Tamaklo, who was speaking to us, and the supporters of the party. Some youths are pushing the gate now and wanted to have access to the place. This is the Methodist church, one of the polling stations at Odoko, where the clash has been happening between some supporters, gentlemen who drove in here on motorbike, a number of them in helmets, some covering their faces, clashing with each other. They just pushed the gate open. You see them there still pushing, forcing the gate to the polling center to be open for them. It is unclear what they want to get access to the place to do, but you have them in your shots there still pushing to get access to the place. We are still unclear which party they support yet and why they want to have access to the place, but you see one of them throws sand. They are throwing sand to the journalists who are on the walls trying to capture the moment. They are throwing sand to them. It is unclear why they are agitated so far, but it's still unclear why they are so agitated amongst themselves. They drove in here on motorbikes, some still in the helmet, and pushing gates to be open. The police are here to effect any arrest amongst them. No one has been arrested so far. I see that Mustafa Gbande. I will try and see if I can speak to him briefly to know what the challenge is and what the boys want, for which reason they are here. But so far, the police as well as the party leadership are trying to calm situation. Mr. Gbande, are trying to calm situation here as we speak. It's unclear what the agitation. I see there a police FPU van also driving to the place with a police officer sitting on top of it. The vehicle is trying to make its way here. Unclear. I see another police patrol vehicle also coming. Mr. Tabaklo, you were speaking to us. Is it clear what the guys were trying to ask?
I think the guys were saying that they are not comfortable with the presence of Hawa Kumsin here. I pleaded with them that the police have already moved with her to the back door, so she's no longer here. So basically that was it.
Wait, take your time.
Mr. Tamaklo, I just want to find out the boys who are here to demand that she's taken out. Are they your members?
I saw one gentleman talk about pepper spray. And when they talked about the pepper, when they talk about the pepper spray, all that they just said that they are not comfortable with the use of pepper spray here. It's a voting center. I encourage them. that the person they have an issue with is no longer here, and so they should leave here and allow the voting to take place. That's all.
I've realized they've listened to you and they have withdrawn. Are they your members?
That I can't confirm immediately. But I've seen my constituency chairman here, but they are not among the people protesting. They want the voting process. Look, as we speak, the Electoral Commission had done a collation of about 262 of the polling station, and that put the NPP candidate with 48 votes ahead. We want 6,000 people to have their say. That will flip the 48 seats, 48
votes.
So that's what we are determined to get. That's the outcome we are looking for. We are for peace. Remember, we are in government, and so the responsibility is on us, and we will do everything to ensure that there's utmost peace here. Yes.
Thank you. And Director of Legals there for the NDC, Godwin Edwige Tameklo there, giving us updates on what has been transpiring so far. From the indication, he tells us that they have been trying to, the boys who came here to express their grievance, have been trying to make sure that Honorable Habakumsin, the former MP who was here, leaves the place. It's unclear why they are happy with her presence at the voting center. We do not know, but what they've been saying is that she need to leave the premises, and that arrangement has been made, as is confirmed to us. Honorable Habakumsin have been taken away from the voting center so far, and calm has relatively been restored. The guys have left the place on their motorbikes. There you have them on the streets trying to leave the place. They've all climbed back to their motorbikes, and they are making their way out of the place. But what Edwige Tameklo could not confirm to us is whether or not these are supporters of his party. But as far as he's concerned, they have listened to them to calm down, and they are now making their way out of the place. And so that is the genesis of the chaos that we have seen so far here at the Methodist Church polling center here at Odoko, where they have been fighting among themselves in the last few minutes, but relative calm have been restored. We'll try and see if we can speak to any of the leadership or the senior officers of the police here who are making sure that there is calm returning to the place to get an official position on what has been happening so far. And so calm has been restored. The police FPU van which moved in has also moved away and parked at the far end to the police station. A number of the police officers are draped in their gears on standby to enforce the law, to maintain law and order as we speak. So that's the situation. A number of the youths are currently still moving towards the other side of the polling center. You see the police van, FPU, police bus, having some number of police officers in there also on standby. The youth have been moving on the street back and forth. It's still unclear what they want as far as the process is concerned. But I can say that relative calm has been restored so far. It is not as chaotic as we have seen in the last few minutes. I see there Malik Basintale making his way to the voting center. The YEA boss making his way to the polling center, and he is the one that is currently drawing the crowd that is coming, and so that's what we experiencing now. He's trying to make get a word from him on why he's here, and the whole crowd that has been following him around. Okay, and so they are guiding him out of the place. I'm sure they are going to pick their cars and leave now, and so he's just passing by, and the party supporters are guiding him away from the scene, and so he's going now, and the rest of the crowd are following him. So that's the situation. Briefly chaotic, very chaotic amongst the supporters who are here demanding that the police take action to get away the former MP Hawa Kumsin away from the scene, and the assurance is that she's been taken away from the scene as we speak. And so there is relative calm. The youth are still on the streets and lurking around while the party officers are still trying to do some negotiations and get to nerves station where the chaos has been in the last few minutes. A clash between two groups. The party leadership will not readily tell us whether the members are either members of the NPP or the NDC, but from the assurance we got from the director of legals of the NDC, Edwige Tameklo, so far is that they've been able to negotiate with them, and they have agreed to leave the place. I see them, Mustafa Gbande still trying to engage a number of the youth there to see how they can make sure that total calm returns to the place. I'll try and see if I can get a word from him. Mr. Gbande, I just want to pick a word briefly from you. You've been able to do some negotiation with the youth and they have retreated. What exactly have been their demand? Why they are?
Some level of agitation. You can see this is MP. These are MPP. Okay. This one is NDC. So we are trying to make them. We are the same people. We are the same family. So they will come here.
They will come here.
Chief,
how is the negotiation going?
Charlie, the negotiation, we are brothers. But right now, because of power change, our brothers, then they beat us. Wow. Like, seriously. But then to have exercise patience to us. Because the game is sometimes changed. We know what they can do because they are in power. But we are begging them. Charlie, he changed that why we there in this punishment. But he can change again. But we are brothers. We should think of that. We want peace in this constituency. Like the way we are doing. We are pleading. It should not be fight. A winner should just win. If you are a loser, you accept. So we are pleading to all. We are brothers. The violence is trying to be too much. They should have exercise patience with us.
So your boys have listened to you and they have retreated. Are we sure that they will not return it?
No. We are here with them together and we are trying to bring peace, like they said. You know, like the way we had beating Hawa Kumsin. But sometimes we feel like they should have patience. You know, everybody has.
But why is she here?
She's here because of you know, there is an election going on here. Definitely, I know she was also here to check what is going on. So a lot of people are here. A lot are here that they are also checking, like the NDC. But we are not fighting no one. Okay. They are just trying to bring peace.
Has she been taken away now?
We are now about to check that one. Now I don't know. We are.
Let us read this page. Okay. Thank you. So, what's your name?
I'm Ibrahim Mohammed, popularly known as Figo. The MPP. I'm the MPP boy. Yes, man.
Thank you. The gentleman calls himself Figo, and he said they've been able. He is part of the NPP, and the leadership of the boys, have been trying to negotiate, and indicates to me that they've succeeded at the negotiation. It's just beautiful to hear the two of them, he himself and Mustafa Gbande, trying to have a conversation and come to a consensus. And so we can't say for now that so far they have come to an understanding. They admit that the boys are from the two sides, the NDC as well as the NPP, who clash here on the demand that Honorable Hawa Kumsin should leave the premises. And he's been telling me that although this is not her constituency, she's a former MP, and also decided to only come and observe the processes as it has been ongoing. And now that they are unhappy and have been able to take her away, calm has been restored so far. And you see in your shot the two of them still having a conversation. They, the NPP and the NDC, Mustafa Gbande and Figo, are trying to calm another gentleman there. They're still trying to get one of the boys out. I don't know what. It's quite fragile here. Anything leading to disagreements and between the two sides, and somehow they find a way to resolve it amongst themselves. The police are currently all lined up in front of the main entrance to the polling center and trying to prevent anybody from having access to the polling center. They are currently lined up there for a human or wall around the place. I can count at least 15 police officers currently in front of the place and not letting anyone have access to the polling center any longer. The situation, there is calm with a bit of disagreement and confrontations among the supporters who are here also observing the situation. It's unclear the identity of the group, and you will barely be able to make them out because they are in any party color, and whether they are in or NPP party color, they are all in mufti and trying to also observe the process, but sometimes lead to some disagreement amongst them every now and then. And so that's the situation here as we speak at the Odoko polling station, currently here in the Odoko area. Just gone by was chaos, fight between the two sides of the political divide. Their leaders, Mustafa Gbande is here, the director of legal, Aduji Tameklo, is also here. The two of them have been speaking to us, indicating to us that they've been able to negotiate and get some calm as we speak. And so there is relative calm here at the Odoko Methodist Church polling station here in the Ablekuma North constituency. So that's the situation.
Before Obebano na had to say
na haiku bibia idedin wa but oba no aka say no I say the din here da baby dada and oba ha san be here niam ba ku mienu wa ha na anko ye no e na ma akoma no ko soro a bode abon kakra
me da say no panyi uso de na hu ye
oh de mi hu ye nyina na say Ghana police nyaade because how comes in abaha otra for constituency before answer na oba say into say question abana ye to no krare nye obi a odoko obi a na etubi ye onipa bi a omutubi enti yidi nkan ho te na mani rema no be super pepper spray e wa ha ma oye ne yasi wa say eni kwa say Ghana police mu gina ho ne e bu obi krare mutimi nkoso because government o ho ne tu amukan ti mutimi nkoso obi a ye nipa ti ye bibisa asi o say Ghana police mo omokoso ntem no mbu ja say ye babu obi apira na sana Jafana hospital no that's it.
Right, and so that's his version of account as well. Martin, we're seeing a number of the individuals continue to mount up along the entrance to the polling station. Not quite clear what is prompting them to return to the entrance again. But this is the situation as we have it, Martin. A lot more persons continue to come in. I've seen the former NHI CEO who was also present, and for now it's a lot more of persons affiliated and associated to the NDC who continue to be around. For now, voting has almost come to a halt at this particular spot, even as we continue to observe the happenings in and around this place, Martin.
You know, I'm sure many who are following will also want to find out what's the genesis of all this. How did it start? Was it because of the presence of one person, or clearly something must have triggered this unfortunate confusion we are seeing at the moment? And now we see a lot of bystanders who are also observing. But can you tell us the backstory of what must have started all of this?
So Martin, what it is that we're learning of is that the presence of Hawa Kumsin appeared to have raised the tension levels a bit high. So from the eyewitness accounts we've received, she made her way here first for the first time and was accorded the courtesies and made her way inside and observed proceedings and then left, and returned again shortly to witness again what was supposed to happen, which is like making a second appearance again. Then the supporters affiliated to the NDC said they did not want to see her at the polling station again, and they began to get a bit aggressive, getting close to her amongst many other things. And from the eyewitness account, when she felt a bit unsafe, she brought out a pepper spray and used it on these individuals, which then triggered a lot of what we've seen, which is allegations of assault and the likes, which has been widely reported. From the eyewitness account, that is what has generated into this controversy. And then there's been a lot more of supporters who've gotten wind of the fact that she's here, and there were tensions simmering amongst many other things, which has piqued their interest, and they've all made their way here. Reason for which, for over the last 30 plus minutes, voting has come to an end. There's been reinforced police presence as well, and everything has pretty much come to a standstill of some sort. When we were inside a short while ago, we saw that the police had taken absolute control of the entire area and were guarding even the ballot boxes as well, and it simply meant that voting is not happening as we speak. Eduji Tamaklu as well was here. He spoke to a number of the individuals and was calming tempers and insisting that what must happen is that they are the government in power. He was speaking to journalists a lot earlier that they are the government in power. It's not in their interests as well to see things degenerate, and so it's urgent for calm amongst a number of the persons he identified to be affiliated with the NDC, Martin.
Eric Maonagbeta, thank you for keeping very close tabs on that for us. We'll definitely be coming back to you as and when we have new developments. But like we indicated, we have men dotted across those 19 polling centers, and I will be updating you as and when something does come up. But we'll be with you between now and until polls close and counting, sortation and declaration is done, because we are your election command center. Like I indicated also, I am here with my colleagues Beatrice Edu and then also Helen Apia Ampofo. She has her guests with her, and we'll dive straight into the conversations. We are your election command center. Hello, Helen.
Hello, Martin, and thank you for that. And you are absolutely right. This is your election command center. We're making sure that you're kept abreast with every single thing that happens in the Ablekuma North constituency. But let's come back right here in studio. I'll introduce my guest to you, and then we'll get talking. A lot is happening across the different polling centers, some 19 of them, where some 6,000 constituents will be taking part in these elections. The NPP's Nana Ekuya-Owusu-Afriyie facing off against the NDC's Irabna Orbin, who takes the day. We're watching very keenly indeed. Well, in studio, I've got Musa Dankwa. He's the Executive Director and Head of Global Research, Global Info Analytics. Mr. Dankwa, hello, good morning. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing very well, thank you.
I'm very eager to find out how some of you...
This information, they went up, Open how I didn't say, yeah, of course. How I didn't how I come back on or koi. I know some baby. Toba and I say, Akasakasa Kakra, Basun to pepper spray, spray Kakra. Tema is supporting the buffy. Aha, and Tema.
Okay, so the guy there is an eyewitness and was telling James how the whole thing, came about.
What we are also learning is that the process has been halted for
yes.
And I mean, the number that is at stake is 464 registered voters. Looking at the current turnout, I mean, in fact, if these people are actually deprived, and I mean, time is still going. By 5 o'clock, I think polls should be closed, and so if the chaos continues, and then you do not allow these people to also come and vote, that could have actually a dent on the outcome of the election. And we understand that even with the previous one, it was this same station that, I mean, confusion erupted.
Because that is where they were doing the coalition.
Exactly. Yeah. And in fact, the same thing has been repeated. It simply means that we've not learned our lessons, right? And I must make the point again that this is a big disincentive for the 464 registered voters who will be watching, and then whether on TV or as bystanders on the road, and saying that how do I go into that place to go and cast my ballot? Because I mean, the moment I go in, I don't know which group will decide to come in again. And that is an enclosed area. It means that if you enter there and then there's another confusion, the probability of you getting out is also
okay.
I mean,
let's look at the other.
So there are other polling stations that have higher numbers, and we were looking at, a place like the Lost Pentecostal Church, 563 registered voters expected to go and vote there. There was another polling station that I saw, Article School Complex. I think this is the highest so far. 643. Ateko, right? It will be Ateko, school complex. It will be interesting to see what is happening there at the moment. And we know our men and women on the grounds will be bringing us the picture very soon. But 645 registered voters expected to vote there. Brace, we have to end on a note that everything will be boiled down to turnouts.
Yeah.
It depends on who is able to convince more people to go out there and go and vote. What we know is that the propensity to vote in Ablekuma North has been on a decline since 2012. What will be its impact on this election? Even in periods where there was no confusion, there was a decline in voter turnout. How much more when we have pockets of violence scattered across the length and breadth of the 19 polling stations so far, based?
Quite a point to note there, but one thing we can assure you is that our cameras will be everywhere in the constituency to bring you that whatever is happening in the constituency. So stay with us here on your election headquarters. Join news as we bring you undiluted coverage of whatever is happening. We will be beating, but we can assure you that we won't leave. We'll be there to bring you whatever that we have to get you to know. They will join us. We'll take a break. When we come back, Suja Bochi will be here on the channel.
Earlier, you could tell that indeed the police had taken absolute control of the entire area, and so they continue to still guard the ballot boxes. You see, they are very much in charge of that area. We're seeing the officials of the Electoral Commission as well now seeking to, amongst many other things, bring back and rearrange the ballot papers and the biometric verification devices and all of that, which will then pave way for voters to make their way here. Unfortunately, we don't even know the numbers expected to vote here because we can't get access to them immediately to get an understanding as to what happens. The big question really out there for a lot of people to seek to get answers to is what happens to voter turnout from here on in, because we've seen it happen in the past where incidents like these tend to affect the morale of persons wanting to come out and vote. We're seeing a number of individuals again as well seeking to make their way into the area. We're just seeing as well the defense and then interior ministers all making their way into the area, and they are speaking to the former speaking to the former NHI CEO as well, and seeking to get an understanding of what it is that's played out as they go around taking the salutes from the respective police officers here, seeking to understand for themselves as well what it is that may have played out, the reason for which we've seen what it is that we've seen. I'm sure, and the expectation is that they will receive some briefing as to what it is that's happened, which is what we're seeing play out at this particular point in time. They will receive some briefing, and then we most likely will, if possible, get a word or two from them as well. But again, I was talking to you about what this could mean for voter turnout amongst many other things, and so we will seek to try and get an understanding as to everything that's played out, even as they continue to receive that briefing from officials of the police who are present here. We've seen Dr. Manebuama and then Muntaka all present and also witnessing for themselves, getting first-hand account really on what it is that's happening. And so that's what's happening. The presence of the police continues to be quite heightened, even as they continue to receive the briefing, and we're seeing a lot more of the top police hierarchy as well come through and be present and be counted to ensure that security is tight and they ensure that peace and tranquility does prevail. And so that's what's playing out as we continue to monitor exactly what it is that's happened here over the last hour or so. We've seen Madame Juliana Obey as well all around, and so it's the top hierarchy of the police really seeking to provide some level of briefing to the ministers, and then we can get a sense of what really played out. But as we speak, it's all calm. The police presence is heightened. Members of the National Foreign Police units all present, witnessing for themselves what it is that's transpired as they continue to get an understanding as to what's transpired. Getting a word from the presiding officer from here as well, and so it continues to be a calm after is what? How would you describe it? As a calm after the storm, and so a lot more of police presence as we hear the loud sirens blasting all through, amongst many other things. But the EC official appears to be providing some briefing, if we can tap into that as well.
If we have to start,
yes. So we are going to let you start. But we are sorry for that. Yes.
A suggestion. That media encounter going on there.
Of assault, and they are marching towards. Wow, unbelievable! Clearly defying the police order. The breakthrough. This is unprecedented. This is unbelievable. This is absolutely shocking. Wow, there's a tussle ongoing right now. There's a tussle ongoing. It's turning violent. It's turning chaotic. They're literally fighting the police. They're literally
We seem to be losing the audio there, but we can clearly see on the screens exactly what is happening. A tussle between the men and the police, and we can see how the individuals
is being trampled on. The police is completely chaotic. People are running for safety. This can't be a democracy. This can't be a democracy. People are literally running away for their lives. The police are being assaulted. MPP party officials are being assaulted. Miracles was standing next to me. Literally had to run for his life. Unbelievable, Nana. The scenes here completely unbelievable. The vehicles have parked in the middle of the road. The police seem helpless. It doesn't look like hope is coming from anywhere.
Madam, are you confident of victory today?
Live on TV right now at the St. Peter Society that there's been a clear case of assault and they are marching towards wow, unbelievable, clearly defying the police order. The breakthrough, this is unprecedented. This is unbelievable. This is absolutely shocking. Wow, there's a tussle ongoing right now.
Peaceful exercise, and people must just exercise their franchise. We should note at all times that it is not the entire constituency that is voting. It's only 19 polling stations. And because of the clustering system, you may have different polling stations voting at a particular location. It doesn't mean yours is part of the 19 polling stations that are voting today.
The police were helpless at the time these well-built macho men stormed here. Based on order in Sweden, do you still stand by your decision not to deploy military persons? 2024, December, pink sheets were bent here. Do you still stand by your decision?
I don't think you are being fair to the police when you say the police were helpless. The police are a very professional institution. When you don't see them reacting with force, it doesn't mean they are helpless. This is where you may go wrong. Just lowering the threshold to invite the military. If it becomes abundantly clear that the military should restore order in any part of the country, the military will do it. But the military should not be the first point of call. We have seen it in this country, where the military was able to storm the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Is that what we want? Is that the democracy that we want? This cannot be this cannot be the democracy under President Mahama. President Mahama is different from President Akufo-Addo. You understand? So let us give the police the maximum cooperation. Is the reason I'm here jointly with my brother and colleague, Minister for the Interior, to observe things for ourselves. Let's give the police the maximum cooperation.
What's your assessment of the process so far, particularly here?
All the polling stations that we've been to so far, I would say so far so good. Any challenges will be addressed by the Ghana police.
This particular
I'm saying that any challenges will be addressed by the Ghana police service, and trust that they will do it. They are capable. Thank you.
That's the Defense Minister, Dr. Edward Omaneboama, speaking there and also interacting with the officials of the Electoral Commission, amongst many other things. Helen, we're going to hand it all back to you right now in the studio so the conversations can continue, even as we continue to monitor the proceedings from here. And so we're all now being asked as well to make our way out of the place. And so back to you in the studio, Helen, as conversations will continue.
Certainly. Thank you so much for that. That's my colleague Eric Mauna Egbeta. He's in the Ablekuma North constituency, and particularly in Odoko at the Methodist Church, where some fracas has ensued. You were listening there to the Defense Minister talking about what the processes are going to be looking like moving forward. He was also speaking there with the Director of Legal Affairs of the NDC, Eduji Tamaklo, weighing in on some disturbances that we're told involve the former Member of Parliament for Ewutu Senya East, that's Mavis Hawa Kumsin. We know she has now left the area, but there are still scores of security personnel in...
The only one assessment so far. So far, so good. Does the ground look better for the NDC here? Very. Yeah. I'll be surprised if we don't. Okay. Chairman, come all right, some persons have argued that, because of the call from the NDC for the removal of the NDC, what do you make of the I love you. I love you. Kill them. Go enter the car. I'll give on the way.
All right, this feels almost illegal to know, but our windows were so old and just desperately needed to be replaced. So I called a few contractors, but they all quoted me a hefty $10,000 or more for new windows, and I almost lost it. That's when my friend, who's a realtor, stopped me and said, if you're a homeowner and your windows are older than 5 years, you might qualify for this new 2025 window replacement service. At first it sounded too good to be true, but it turns out he uses the same service for all his clients, and a lot of people regret not knowing about it sooner, because the savings are serious, you guys. I applied, and in less than 2 minutes I was approved for energy-efficient windows, and there are only 3 requirements. You've got to be a U.S. resident. You have to live in an eligible zip code. Your windows need to show visible signs of aging. You can click the button below to see if you qualify for new windows for your home. It takes less than 2 minutes, but you have to hurry and act now because requests are coming in fast, and some contractors are already getting booked for 2025. So click the link below to see if you qualify.
If you have a 700 plus credit score, you qualify for Chase's new program where you could access up to $150,000 of capital for free at 0% interest rates to fund any business or investment that you want, all in the next 30 days. Chase's new program allows you to access up to $150,000 of free capital for your businesses and investments without needing any tax returns, bank statements, or pay stubs, and it doesn't require an upfront payment either. If that sounds interesting to you, I create a full case study analysis on this new program that Chase is offering and how not only you can access up to $150,000 for free from...
If the first time she's giving a courtesy, she comes the second time, that is tantamount to making people suspicious of what is her intention. And that triggers a reaction from the people. The police didn't handle that well because they shouldn't have allowed her to come the second time. Then she pulls out pepper spray.
We're told allegedly there was some pepper spray coming from her.
Allegedly, she pulls out pepper spray. That needs to be confirmed.
Indeed.
Now, pepper spray is a weapon. is an immobilizing weapon. Some people can even die when you spray them with pepper spray because of allergic reaction. So it's not just to push people away, but it could kill. So this activity cannot just push aside, because the police should have stopped all of this. They didn't. The reaction when the confusion started, the reaction of the police was a detached kind of reaction. They were not even reactionary, they were detached from making sure that the people, the perpetrators, were withdrawn. But maybe because they were NDC members, they were protecting their police jobs by going after them. Now, President Mahama just last week told the IGP that the previous election-related violence should be investigated and the cases brought to a close.
Indeed.
You have just opened another one. This also has to be added to it. And I don't think President Mahama will cover it up and protect the police. He will never do that. So, for me, the reaction of the police to the violence, the beginning of the violence, all of that should be situated on their desk. They didn't do a good job, and I will never cover it up.
So for you, the blame should be put squarely, directly on the door of the IGP?
Directly on the IGP and his team that organized that event. Because we were told, and this morning, I praised the police because of what I saw on another station. And then I came here and I saw that my praise was a little bit too premature. And I felt disgraced by that kind of praise. Seriously. Because if you cannot intend to create what your reaction will be in a worst case scenario, which is what we are seeing, just 19. Once one polling station has brought the image of the whole exercise into the gutter.
Doc, thank you for your preliminary thoughts. Mr. Kuti, let me come to you next year, again from where you sit as a security analyst. And we've seen scores of security personnel, shall I say, let me borrow this term, storm Ablekuma North. We've even seen immigration personnel suited and booted in the area. I need to ask, who is protecting the rest of the country? It appears the whole security personnel there in Ablekuma North. What do the optics then suggest to you, or what do the optics mean for the rest of the day as this rerun is happening in Ablekuma North?
Well, Beatrice, thank you for having me, and good afternoon to your production team and my colleagues here, especially my senior daughter, Norman. And I can't help but agree with Doug. The police were simply unprepared.
I'm 100% sure about these elections tomorrow. And I believe in putting in hard work. I don't believe that there's any elections that can be won on a silver platter. We are prepared, we have worked. I have not just left Parliament today, we've been on the ground since Monday. And we are very positive that the electorates have listened to us. We are very positive that the impact of the John Dramani Mahama research change, they are all feeling it. And for the first time, I'll plead with them to join us. They should come on board. The people of Okaikwe North did it in 2020. They never regretted, and they gave me another nod this time round. We are pleading with them. We are coming here to tell them our story. That until you try change, you will never know the importance of it. We are pleading with the people of Ablekuma. We have talked to them. We have knocked at their doors. We just have barely few hours to elections. I am optimistic. I am positive. I am here with the vibrant youth of Okaikwe North. We've been here working from Monday till now. And I know by the grace of God, tomorrow, come what may around this time, Obin will be declared winner.
But here lies the case, the NDC has never won this constituency before. How different is this approach?
Well, if you see some of us here, I didn't just come. I came here with my troops, those who helped me to rescue Okaikwe North. If you know the history of Okaikwe North, the NDC had never won it before until 2020. We brought that magic here. And we are talking to other people. We are telling the people of Ablekuma that change is positive. They should give us a change. They should give us a try, and they will never regret it. I am positive that Ablekuma North is going green. No more blue. Now people have seen the lights. Before people vote on partisan lines. But hey, when we go to the market, We all buy the same food stuff at the same rates. Was it better when your government was in power? If the answer is no, vote for a Rabna, vote for change.
My last question to you will be about, you've raised concerns about the efficiency and capability of the EC. Are you confident in the capabilities of the EC this time around?
Well, it's not about the capabilities of the EC. We have equally raised concerns about the EC. We did not go into 2024 elections because we had hopes and beliefs in the EC. We were determined and we prepared towards the elections. And so the same spirit that we went into 2024 elections is the same spirit we are holding here. That tomorrow we are going to be vigilant. We are not sleeping. From here we are moving into the houses to remind the people that, hey, tomorrow come out early and vote. Vote and go and then do whatever you want to do. We will protect your votes. Ghanaians were afraid whether their votes will be protected. We have proven to them in 2024. And we are telling the people of Ablekuma, your vote is secured. Your vote will be counted tomorrow. Your candidate in Rabna Obin will be declared winner tomorrow, inshallah. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. We are positive.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too. We are grateful.
Well, Carlos, we are still here there. Mini rally being held by the NDC in preparation for the rerun of the Ablekuma North constituency elections tomorrow. We earlier saw big waves of the NPP at various vantage points in the Ablekuma North constituency, describing and speaking to the constituents, appealing to them to come out and come and vote. We've seen Kennedy, Japan, Charles Bisiu, and other big waves of the NPP coming out to vote. When we go here at the mini rally,
there were searches. Depending on the security parameters they put in place, this thing wouldn't have occurred. And in security, senior, yes, we preempt. And it's cheaper to prevent than to allow the incident to happen and you are now dealing with the aftermath. So to me, we have a lot on our hands. And look, Edoji Tamaklu has become a national asset. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter the party he belongs to. It's a good brother, and I admire him so much. But he made a statement, and I think that statement is so unfortunate. When he said he directed the commander that the presence of Hawa Yakubu was not needed and there's an exit he should go. If the presence of Hawa Yakubu is not needed, Hawa Kumsen, sorry, yes, is not needed at that place, on what basis is it there? Look, let's call a spade.
You're talking about Eduji.
Eduji, yes.
He's the Director of Legal Affairs of the National Democratic.
Hawa Yakubu is a senior member of the NPP.
Okay.
Let's call a spade a spade. So sometimes we shouldn't, Hawa Kumsen, sorry. So we shouldn't, you see, Hawa Yakubu had been my role model as a child growing up. You see that Hawa, she was the iron lady of the time. And we were all,
you are forgiven, Mr. Putin.
I understand.
Yes.
I have a soft spot for women, given that our leadership in Africa has been dominated by men. So when you see women trying the leadership space, we do everything possible.
So you must be excited then with what we're seeing today.
Yes, 2 years and to us. 2 years and to us. One from the NPP, one from the NDC. And to me, may the best candidate win. And in these elections, the way things are going, I'm afraid the ending will not be good. If we should get an overvoting, even one vote, it will invalidate the entire process. And the second aspect I'm afraid of is that we have one election, different verification mechanisms. So if anybody loses these elections and decides to go to court, we will have another sword in our hands. And that's why me initially have called that the entire constituency should be rerun. Preempt. And it's cheaper to prevent than to allow the incident to happen and we are not dealing with the aftermath. So to me, we have a lot on our hands. And look, Edoji Tamaklu has become a national asset. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter the party he belongs to. It's a good brother and I admire him so much. But he made a statement, and I think that statement is so unfortunate. When he said he directed the commander that the presence of Hawa Yakubu was not needed and there's an exit he should go. If the presence of Hawa Yakubu is not needed, is not needed at that place, on what basis is it there?
Look, let's call a spade.
You're talking about ADG. Of Legal Affairs and International.
Hawa Yakubu is a senior member of the NPP.
Okay.
Let's call a spade a spade. So
Hawa Kumse.
We shouldn't, Hawa Kumse, sorry. So we shouldn't, you see, Hawa Yakubu had been my role model as a child growing up. You see that Hawa, she was the iron lady of the time. And we were all, you know,
forgiven.
I understand.
Yes.
You know, preempt. And it's cheaper to prevent than to allow the incident to happen and we are not dealing with the aftermath. So to me, we have a lot on our hands. And look, Edoji Kamaklu has become a national asset. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter the party he belongs to. It's a good brother and I admire him so much. But he made a statement. And I think that statement is so unfortunate. When he said he directed the commander that the presence of Hawa Yakubu was not needed and there's an exit should go. If the presence of Hawa Yakubu is not needed, is not needed at that place, on what basis is he there? Look, let's call a spade.
You're talking about ADG. Of Legal Affairs and International.
Hawa Yakubu is a senior member of the NPP.
Okay.
Let's call a spade a spade. So sometimes we shouldn't, Hawa Kumse, sorry. So we shouldn't, you see, Hawa Yakubu had been my role model as a child growing up. You see that Hawa, she was the iron lady of the time. And we were all, you know, forgiven. I understand.
Yes.
You know, preempt. And it's cheaper to prevent than to allow the incident to happen and we are not dealing with the aftermath. So to me, we have a lot on our hands. And look, Edoji Kamaklu has become a national asset. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter the party he belongs to. It's a good brother and I admire him so much. But he made a statement. And I think that statement is so unfortunate. When he said he directed the commander that the presence of Hawa Yakubu was not needed and there's an exit should go. If the presence of Hawa Yakubu is not needed, is not needed at that place, on what basis is he there? Look, let's call a spade.
You're talking about ADG. Of Legal Affairs and International.
Hawa Yakubu is a senior member of the NPP.
Okay.
Let's call a spade a spade. So sometimes we shouldn't, Hawa Kumse, sorry. So we shouldn't, you see, Hawa Yakubu had been my role model as a child growing up. You see that Hawa, she was the iron lady of the time. And we were all, you know, forgiven. I understand.
Yes.
You know, preempt. And it's cheaper to prevent than to allow the incident to happen and we are not dealing with the aftermath. So to me, we have a lot on our hands. And look, Edoji Kamaklu has become a national asset. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter the party he belongs to. It's a good brother and I admire him so much. But he made a statement. And I think that statement is so unfortunate. When he said he directed the commander that the presence of Hawa Yakubu was not needed and there's an exit should go. If the presence of Hawa Yakubu is not needed, is not needed at that place, on what basis is he there? Look, let's call a spade.
You're talking about ADG. Of Legal Affairs and International.
Hawa Yakubu is a senior member of the NPP.
Okay.
Let's call a spade a spade. So sometimes we shouldn't, Hawa Kumse, sorry. So we shouldn't, you see, Hawa Yakubu had been my role model as a child growing up. You see that Hawa, she was the iron lady of the time. And we were all, you know, forgiven. I understand.
Yes.
You know, preempt. And it's cheaper to prevent than to allow the incident to happen and we are not dealing with the aftermath. So to me, we have a lot on our hands. And look, Edoji Kamaklu has become a national asset. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter the party he belongs to. It's a good brother and I admire him so much. But he made a statement. And I think that statement is so unfortunate. When he said he directed the commander that the presence of Hawa Yakubu was not needed and there's an exit should go.
if the presence of Howard Yakubu is not needed, is not needed at that place, on what basis is he there? Look, let's call a spade.
You're talking about energy. Of legal affairs and
yes, Howard Yakubu is a senior member of the NPP.
Okay.
Let's call a spade a spade. So sometimes we shouldn't, Howard Kumsen, sorry. So we shouldn't, you see, Howard Yakubu had been my role model as a child growing up. You see that Howard, she was the iron lady of the time. And we were all, you know, I understand. Yes. You know, preempt. And it's cheaper to prevent than to allow the incident to happen and you are not dealing with the aftermath. So to me, we have a lot on our hands. And look, Edoji Kamaklu has become a national asset. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter the party he belongs to. It's a good brother and I admire him so much. But he made a statement. And I think that statement is so unfortunate. When he said he directed the commander that the presence of Howard Yakubu was not needed and there's an exit should go. If the presence of Howard Yakubu is not needed, is not needed at that place, on what basis is he there? Look, let's call a spade.
You're talking about energy. Of legal affairs and
yes, Howard Yakubu is a senior member of the NPP.
Okay.
Let's call a spade a spade. So sometimes we shouldn't, Howard Kumsen, sorry. So we shouldn't, you see, Howard Yakubu had been my role model as a child growing up. You see that Howard, she was the iron lady of the time. And we were all, you know, I understand. Yes. You know, preempt. And it's cheaper to prevent than to allow the incident to happen and you are not dealing with the aftermath. So to me, we have a lot on our hands. And look, Edoji Kamaklu has become a national asset. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter the party he belongs to. It's a good brother and I admire him so much. But he made a statement. And I think that statement is so unfortunate. When he said he directed the commander that the presence of Howard Yakubu was not needed and there's an exit should go. If the presence of Howard Yakubu is not needed, is not needed at that place, on what basis is he there? Look, let's call a spade.
You're talking about energy. Of legal affairs and
yes, Howard Yakubu is a senior member of the NPP.
Okay.
Let's call a spade a spade. So sometimes we shouldn't, Howard Kumsen, sorry. So we shouldn't, you see, Howard Yakubu had been my role model as a child growing up. You see that Howard, she was the iron lady of the time. And we were all, you know, I understand. Yes. You know, preempt. And it's cheaper to prevent than to allow the incident to happen and you are not dealing with the aftermath. So to me, we have a lot on our hands. And look, Edoji Kamaklu has become a national asset. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter the party he belongs to. It's a good brother and I admire him so much. But he made a statement. And I think that statement is so unfortunate. When he said he directed the commander that the presence of Howard Yakubu was not needed and there's an exit should go. If the presence of Howard Yakubu is not needed, is not needed at that place, on what basis is he there? Look, let's call a spade.
You're talking about energy. Of legal affairs and
yes, Howard Yakubu is a senior member of the NPP.
Okay.
Let's call a spade a spade. So sometimes we shouldn't, Howard Kumsen, sorry. So we shouldn't, you see, Howard Yakubu had been my role model as a child growing up. You see that Howard, she was the iron lady of the time. And we were all, you know, I understand. Yes. You know, preempt. And it's cheaper to prevent than to allow the incident to happen and you are not dealing with the aftermath. So to me, we have a lot on our hands. And look, Edoji Kamaklu has become a national asset. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter the party he belongs to. It's a good brother and I admire him so much. But he made a statement. And I think that statement is so unfortunate. When he said he directed the commander that the presence of Hawa Yakubu was not needed and there's an exit he should go. If the presence of Hawa Yakubu is not needed, is not needed at that place, on what basis is he there? Look, let's call a spade.
You're talking about ADG.
Yes.
Of Legal Affairs and International.
Hawa Yakubu is a senior member of the NPP.
Okay.
Let's call a spade a spade. So
Hawa Kumse.
we shouldn't, Hawa Kumse, sorry. So we shouldn't, you see, Hawa Yakubu had been my role model as a child growing up. You see that Hawa, she was the iron lady of the time. And we were all, you know,
forgiven.
I understand.
Yes.
You know, preempt. And it's cheaper to prevent than to allow the incident to happen and you are not dealing with the aftermath. So to me, we have a lot on our hands. And look, Edoji Kamaklu has become a national asset. Take it or leave it. It doesn't matter the party he belongs to. It's a good brother and I admire him so much. But he made a statement. And I think that statement is so unfortunate. When he said he directed the commander that the presence of Hawa Yakubu was not needed and there's an exit he should go. If the presence of Hawa Yakubu is not needed, is not needed at that place, on what basis is he there? Look, let's call a spade.
You're talking about ADG. Of Legal Affairs and International.
Hawa Yakubu is a senior member of the NPP.
Okay.
Let's call a spade a spade. So sometimes we shouldn't, Hawa Kumse, sorry. So we shouldn't, you see, Hawa Yakubu had been my role model as a child growing up. You see that Hawa, she was the iron lady of the time. And we were all